Would you please stand with me for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Thank you. Can we have roll call to confirm that we have quorum in the legal meeting?
We do that. Dr. Woods.
Can we have roll call to
Present.
confirm that we have
Mr.
quorum in
Johnson.
the meeting?
Present.
Present.
Mr. Suggs.
Present.
And I am present. All board members present.
Present.
With 5 members here, we have quorum, and we can begin the meeting. 5 members. Item number 2.1 on our agenda is the begin the meeting. Item number 2.1 on our agenda. Thank you. Apologize for the technical issue. Thank you. Approval of tonight's agenda, please. I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
There's a motion on the floor. May I have a second?
Second.
It's been moved properly second. Any discussion?
Yes. On the consent agenda. Yes, I move that we remove 5.4 off the consent agenda.
Let it note that item 5.4 has been moved off of the consent agenda. Let it note that 5.4 off of the consent agenda. Let's move to item 3 on the agenda. Gary, you ready? Snapshots? Mrs. Whittington? Item 3 on the agenda. Gary, you ready? Snapshots?
Good evening, Mr. Suggs, members of the board, Dr. Stokes, and this robust crowd here today with us and those viewing virtually. I'll ask that our team, we have a little bit of reverberation. I'll ask that our team, we have a little bit of reverberation. Okay. Here we go. Good evening, Mr. Suggs, Dr. Stokes, school board members, this robust crowd before me, as well as those tuning in virtually. My name is Chelsea Whittington, and I proudly serve as the Chief of Public and Community Relations for your Gary Community School Corporation. This is my favorite part of the agenda, Gary Ready Snapshots. It's our opportunity to look back and look ahead at all of the exciting things taking place in the district. We are at the close of the school year, which means that there are a lot of activities taking place and a lot of accolades being doled out to our scholars. And today we have a fantastic lineup. I'd like to extend, before we go into the slides, a special congratulations to the young people at Gary Middle School who were inducted into the National Honor Society today. Some of them are here tonight, but they're here for another accolade, which we will hear about momentarily. I'd also like to extend congratulations to our valedictorian, Jamie Jones, as well as our salutatorian, Jalen Quarles, on being honored by the Gary Common Council today at City Hall. All right, Crystal, let's roll into these Gary Ready snapshots. Everybody ready? The very first thing that we want everybody to know is that we are hosting a resource fair on Friday, May 22nd from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. at Westside Leadership Academy, 900 Jerry Street, in the gymnasium. The resource fair is for not just our Gary Community School Corporation family, but for the entire community. We will have a host of vendors. We will have music and food and fun and activities for our children. But most important, we'll have information for parents to help them with their scholars during the summertime, opportunities for them to continue to grow and learn, and also information about next school year and all the opportunities that will be afforded to them in the 26-27 school year. So please visit our website to get more information. There's no need to register. We just want you to show up and show out on behalf of our children, and bring your children with you. Next up, we have Real Men Read. On Friday, May 8th, we had more than 50 men across all of our elementary schools reading to our children. And as we toured the district in the various buildings, we saw some sad faces and tears. And why is that? Because they didn't want the men to leave, which means there's an appetite for this type of interaction. And so we have committed to continue to make this a periodic happening. Here are some of the men who are reading. And we're going to keep this going and going. And at the resource fair, we'll talk more about literacy and all those different types of activities for parents and families to read to and with their children during the summer months. So we keep that desire for reading going until we come back to school. Next up, I'm especially proud of the Facelift Project. FACE meaning Family and Community Engagement Team, of which they are a part of our team. We had a series of grant dollars, a few tiny bucks, and we were able to do a facelift in every FACE room across the district. This is a room designated for you parents and family members to come to the school, get information about resources for you and for your child. And so as you can see some before and afters, I want to call up a couple of my FACE team members. Miss Full of Love and Miss Cotton should be here, as well as Alyssa. Crystal is running the video, but know that she was in the throes of this as well. But I am very big on giving credit where credit is due. Mrs. Whittington did not pick up a single book, chair, or anything. It was these ladies right here who spearheaded the facelifts so that parents can come in, get coffee, be comfortable, or even just woosah before they head on to their next destination when they leave our school buildings. Miss Full Love, if you want to say something, Miss Cotton, about this real briefly, about the team that you all put together to get this done.
Hello, my name is Miss Susan Cotton, and I did the facelift at the schools at Williams, Westside, McCullough, and Banneker. And what we did is we just kind of organized the spaces to make it so that it felt more warming to the parents as they come in, felt more inviting. We also created it so that it's easier for our FACE team to be able to get the things that they need, uniforms, supplies, or whatever, because one thing that I realized was when you come into this position, and we work with a wonderful group of ladies, but when you come into the position, you come in working for the parents and the students. A lot of them, especially in the elementary, need uniforms. So a lot of times, from the old FACE to the new FACE liaisons, they didn't have the time to deep dive into their spaces. So this is where this was created, for them to be able to see things clearly.
right, once again, thank you so much for this facelift, and know that every building in the district has a face liaison. Parents, if you're not aware, please contact your schools. Connect with your face liaison to ensure that you get the resources and, most important, the support that you need. Thank you. I appreciate you, ladies. One thing that our leader, Dr. Yvonne Stokes, has been very clear about is professional development. We want to ensure that our staff members are learning and getting all of the knowledge that they can get to be the best representation for us in the district for our children. On this past Wednesday, it was Professional Development Day. It's always the second Wednesday of the month, and a parent cafe was hosted at Westside Leadership Academy. Here are a few photos of our parents who came out to, again, learn strategies and how to interact with their scholars, especially with the summer approaching. So again, I want to thank the FACE team for putting together the Parent Cafe. They're happening every month, even in the summertime, so parents, be on the lookout for your next invitation to the Parent Cafe. Tomorrow, we have partnered once again with Faith Farms, Faith CDC, as well as the City of Gary and the Food Bank of Northwest Indiana for our Food Distribution Fridays. If you line up in the parking lot of Westside Leadership Academy on tomorrow from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m., they have some food baskets that they give to our parents. We know that we are living in times where groceries may be a bit pricey, so we are working to fill in the gap for our families to support the whole child. So on tomorrow, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m., we'll see you in the parking lot at Westside Leadership Academy. The Prom Boutique. Prom is coming up for Westside Leadership Academy, coming up on next Saturday night, May 6th, tomorrow night, day after tomorrow, Chelsea, May 16th. And I know some of you are already reminiscing, good old Marquette Park. And what we did for our young ladies is put together a prom boutique in our face room. And we'd like to thank Amy Core and Vivian Afrique. They're two young ladies from our community who donated all of these dresses, accessories, shoes, so that our young people would have no barriers to attend the prom on Saturday night. So can we give those two ladies a round of applause? This right here takes me way back. As you know, that the United States government often has honors flights for its veterans. Well, I am pleased to report that we have a retired teacher who recently went on one of those honors flights to Washington, D.C. as a World War II veteran. But here's the caveat, Mr. Langford. He was also my U.S. history teacher back in 19 and he lives with his daughter in Kentucky, I believe it is. But his daughter reached out to me. I know she's watching via Facebook, and I want to thank you, Miss Ashley, for doing this for us, sending us photos of Mr. Langford. There he is in the center, 94 years young, honors flight, West Side teacher, retired, as well as a veteran. Can we give it up for Mr. Langford? We love you, Mr. Langford, and thank you for laying a strong foundation for me. And last but not least, I am so pleased to turn over the mic to my colleague, Dr. Renita Craig. We have some scholars in the house tonight who have done some tremendous things that are garnering national attention with their accolades. And I am calling on Dr. Craig to share more information about Beable and Blue Streak. Dr. Craig, take it away.
Good evening, school board members and Dr. Stokes. Good evening to our community. I am super duper proud to be able to share the awards that our students have received for two of our district-wide programs. The first one is for our Beable program. I'm going to read just a little snapshot of what Beable is. It is a program that became available to us through our school improvement grant that we have for the next 3 to 4 years as we complete our program tenets of ensuring that our students have are able to achieve and increase their reading abilities across the district and in math for grades K through 5. So Beable is an innovative, career-connected literacy platform designed to accelerate reading growth while helping students explore real-world careers and future opportunities. Through engaging, differentiated lessons and personalized learning pathways, Beable supports students in developing literacy skills, vocabulary, comprehension, and academic confidence. The platform also motivates students through interactive challenges and competitions that celebrate achievements, growth, and consistent engagement in learning. Specifically, this particular round of the Beable's Power Up Spring Contest was a contest to get students to read the most stories, articles, and books online, answer the most comprehension questions, and compete against 100,000 students nationwide. And I am extremely proud to be able to share with you the number of students that we have received awards for, which I believe are 15 students who have received awards from all of our elementary schools. We also have a super duper award for 2 of our students, which I'm going to save for last. All right, so we are going to start with, Banneker Elementary School. Our first award goes to Promise Heyman. When I call your name, please come on up to the front. Promise, if you are here, principals, if you are here as well, please come on up to the front. I'm just going to tell her that. Next, we have Kennedy Crumble. If Kennedy is here, please come on up to the front. And lastly, we have Isabella Bell. Continue, I did want to give the opportunity for the parents to take pictures. Can we do that afterwards? Absolutely. Okay, perfect. All right. Our next school, we're going to go to Beveridge Elementary. We have Ayanna Smith. And we have Danielle Smith. Our next school we have is Williams Elementary. We're going to wait till the end to do that student. Next we have Daniel Hill Williams Elementary, Journey King. We also have Kingston Wilson. And we have Merrick Amaya. Congratulations. Yes, we have scholars. Is there a principal here? Chelsea? Is the principal here?
There's the principal is not.
Next, we will move on to McCullough, Frankie Woods McCullough Elementary. We have we're going to go to Nyla Gilbert. And then we have Travers Spears. Moving on to Glen Park Academy, we have Kristen Calhoun. Caleb Hare. And then we have Damari Winslow. I'm gonna take a picture. I want to find some.
I want to take a picture. Okay. Right.
Thank you. Now, as I stated at the start of this presentation, our students who competed in the Be Able Power Up Spring Competition competed against 100,000 students. The students who just received their awards, they were the top winners for their schools. Gary Community School Corporation had 2 worldwide winners. So starting with McCullough Elementary, we have Maya Barnwell, who was the 3rd place winner out of 100,000 students.
Oh, that's
Absolutely, absolutely. And our last student is from Beveridge Elementary School. And, hold on, I know you're excited. Our Beveridge student was the #1 student to win over 100,000 students. Give it. Let's have the school board to come on up and take a picture with you here.
That's the watch back of the year, smile, and the body. Gary Schools rock. Wow, right.
I did forget to say one thing. Today is also Kiara's birthday. Happy birthday, Kiara. spending part of your birthday with us. Okay, so moving on to our next award, we also are awarding our middle school students from Gary Middle School and from Bailey STEM Academy. I would like to share a little bit about the programs our students have been competing in. It is our Blue Streak Math Competition, which is a comprehensive educational platform designed to strengthen student achievement through personalized practice, skill development, and standards-aligned learning experiences. The program supports students in building fluency and math fluency and confidence through consistent academic engagement while providing opportunities for friendly competition and recognition of student growth and perseverance. I am excited to be able to share with you the winners of our Blue Streak contest, beginning with Bailey STEM Academy. We have Andres Malone. Congratulations. You are very welcome.
Dr. Craig, take the picture.
There are 2 more students that are coming up.
My bad.
Please take a picture. We also have Rashawn Hunt. Jaden Robinson. Andres was the 6th grade winner who completed correctly 388 math problems. Rashawn completed correctly 365 math problems. And Jaden, who cannot be here with us, completed 225 math problems correctly.
Smile, face, move the hair. Move the hair. There you go.
All right, and now we have our scholars from Gary Middle School. We have David C. or Say. Please help me say it correctly. And you were inducted into the Junior Middle School National Honor Society. Middle School National Honor Society as well today. C. It is David C. Thank you. Stay up here. Hold on, David. We also have Jaden Carr. And we have Ariana Jackson. We have one more student, Ratliff Dotson. Rattler, please, thank you for correcting me. Rattler Dotson, as he should get his name correctly stated, as he has done an amazing job. So David completed 520 questions correctly, and Rattler completed 513 questions correctly, and was also inducted into the Middle School National Honor Society. Before we conclude this evening's awards, I just wanted to give one opportunity for all of our awardees to come up to the front so that they can take a group picture, and then the families can take a picture, and then you all can celebrate birthdays and have a wonderful evening and get some rest for school tomorrow.
Everybody,
All of our awardees from elementary school and middle school, you're welcome to join us at the front for pictures, and parents can take down the pictures as well.
we want to be in the midst of all of this excellence.
Our administrators who are present, feel free to join in the back of this photo if you would like.
Principals. If somebody come on. That was so nice. This is beautiful. All right, I'm gonna take a series of them. Yes, you keep your eyes open, shoulders back, so you don't cover your faces. 2 hands. Come, okay? There we go. I see you, Journey. Promise. I see all David. We are proud. Everybody good?
Congratulations to our scholars and congratulations to our parents and staff for supporting you. You guys are truly getting ready, as we say. Thank you so much and have a great evening.
Dr. Stokes, Mr. Suggs, this concludes my report of Gary Ready snapshots. Are there any questions?
Thank you so much. Appreciate you.
You got a question?
Oh.
That's my baby.
Mr. Johnson, would you read the comments for public comment?
Yes. Pursuant to Indiana Code IC 5-14-1.5-3, Gary Community School Corporation Board of Trustees welcomes comments individual board members. Statements shall not be abusive or argumentative. Persons making comments shall not debate statements made by other persons. It shall not be permissible to orally present or discuss complaints against individual employees of the Gary Community School Corporation in any Board of School Trustees meetings. Issues related to personnel, individual circumstances, or an individual school will be referred to the building principal or an appropriate administrator in an attempt to resolve the issue prior to an appeal before the board. The speaker cannot transfer the remaining time to another person. The board president will enforce these rules and may take actions necessary to maintain order at the meeting. Such actions may include, but are not limited to, interrupting the speaker if the statement is too lengthy, unduly repetitive, or otherwise violates the rules. The president may terminate the address of any speaker who violates these rules, or limit the total amount of time devoted to public comments if there's a large number of people wishing to address the board, or if there's a large agenda of other business before the board.
Thank you, sir.
who will begin with L. Tyndall.
Greetings to all. I'd like to ask the board and, well, superintendent and the board, where do we stand regarding a swimming pool at Westside Leadership Academy? What's the status of the virtual teaching? How are our students doing? Where do we stand regarding supporting the remodeling, refurbishing, repurposing of the historically renowned, architecturally profound historical landmark, the great Roosevelt High School of Gary, Indiana? I challenge you, board and superintendent, at the next meeting. I've had some questions about the quality of the yearbook in the last 2 years. And I want to know if those issues that I brought up have been resolved. Thank you so much for your time.
Dr. Michaela Stegenberg.
Good evening. Dr. Michaela Stegenberg, Gary Education Coalition. We clearly have some wonderful students, I want to say first of all, and that's a credit to them. They're phenomenal and they deserve the absolute best. In light of that, I do want to make sure that, again, parents, community members can actually be able to view the docs on Board Docs, because they're still not there and it's still super weird. I have never heard of a school corporation in which that has been the practice. And somebody told me as an aside, this is a new explanation, that they weren't up there because they're uploaded after the decision is made. But that's not the purpose of it. The purpose of the entire everything with Board Docs, agendas, ODL, it's about transparency and community members understanding what's being considered. Because we have no way of knowing whether what's on Board Docs afterwards was what was on your guys' Board Docs beforehand. We have wonderful students in part because we have wonderful parents. And I don't think our parents get enough credit. And I think that if those parents are given more transparency, nothing bad is going to happen from that. Only good things could happen. The financial report, it's a little bit unclear. I wonder, I think there might have been a couple of columns that were, and maybe there could be clarification on this later, a couple of columns that were mislabeled, like what looks like it's an abbreviation for unexpected / over. I would assume, I think it's an abbreviation, and it could be an abbreviation for something else. That looks like actually what our remaining funds would be. It's abbreviated also on the chart too, which, it just causes confusion. I'm also not quite sure because we have this term financial keys that is used in 2 different places. And keep in mind, because the docs aren't on Board Docs, I can't sit there and try to figure it out for any period of time. I just, like the rest of everybody, show up here and I'm trying to make sense of things in a limited window of time. But financial key is used on page 1, is also used on page 6, the last page, seemingly to mean different things. And so I just think a little bit more clarification would help there. I also think there's something about how there's an item called state grants that's on only the education portion of the cash flow that I assume is our basic tuition support and maybe other state things, but I don't know where our title funds are, and I don't know why that's not also in operations, because we have safety grants too. Okay, bye.
Dr. Vanessa Allen McLeod.
Good evening, Mr. Stubbs, board members, Dr. Stokes, superintendent, and all of you who are here under the sound of my voice. I'm Dr. Vanessa Allen McLeod, President and CEO of the Urban League of Northwest Indiana, and I'm also a previous board member of the Gary Community School Corporation, which I humbly served faithfully. I'm thankful to be here, and I'm only here to say thank you. I'm here to say thank you to the administrators, the building principals, the teachers, especially the parents, and all of you who get up every morning and you're at the door and you're greeting those students that come in. I witnessed tonight the celebration of them receiving awards, and that only comes from a collective effort of administrators, teachers, principals, parents, and all of you who touched the lives of those students who entered. So these were elementary students who were achieving at the top level. Just continue to wrap your arms around them. I know it's hard work. That's why I couldn't be a teacher, because I couldn't get up early in the morning and be on my post at 6:30 and 7 o'clock a.m. every day to welcome in those students. So I just wanted to say thank you. Last but not least, Urban League has a couple of events coming up where we will be awarding scholarships to students, to Westside Leadership Academy seniors. They're getting money, 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 and more money. Last but not least, there is a partner agency called Hard Rock Casino. Hard Rock has deposited $250,000 in the Urban League's bank account to support any student that graduates from Westside to attend IUN for 4 years. Did I say free? If your child is undecided about where they want to go to school, some of them may want to go away. You know how our children say, I just want to get away from home. Well, IUN is just right down the street. And they are going to pay full tuition. Full tuition. Free. You don't have to pay anything. Full tuition. To encourage your child to apply to IUN, even if they say I don't want to go to IUN, have them apply to IUN. I see Dr. James Wallace, who's in the audience here. Have your child apply, because there's nothing like a quality education, one, starting with Westside Leadership Academy and the entire district, and two, transitioning right over to Indiana University Northwest, where your child will receive a full paid, did I say free? Yeah. Did I say I have the money in the bank?
We will move now to item number 5 on our agenda. Consent agenda items, which will include item 5.1, 5.2, 5.3, 5.5, 5.6, and 5.7. I will entertain a motion for those items.
So moved.
There's a motion on the floor. May I have a second?
Second.
Been moved, properly second. Any discussion on the motion on the floor? May we have roll call for approval, please?
Dr. Woods?
Yes.
Attorney Watkins?
Yes.
Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
Mr. Suggs?
Yes.
And I say yes, the vote is 5-0.
With a vote of 5-0, the consent agenda items named have been approved. We will now move on to item 5.4, approval of the personnel report.
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
I'd like to make a motion that we approve item 5.4.
There's a motion on the floor that's been properly seconded. Discussion on the motion, please.
Yeah, Joanna, if you could speak to this, what this is? Giovanna, sorry.
No, that's okay, you can call me Joe. What
Thank you.
specifically do you have a question about?
Yeah, so this is the 5.4, and so for the people who are watching, and I have documents, this is the, thank you. This is to delegate the, I'm sorry, I'm probably getting my docs in my hand mixed up right quick. 1 second, so we're on 5.4. And 5.4 is for approval of personnel report. And so then in this report, this is for the issuance of adjunct teaching permits.
There are additional recommendations inclusive of the personnel report that does include adjunct teacher recommendations. We currently have artistes who are working in our district. And so Indiana Code allows for us to professionalize these licensures and provides them the opportunity and the incentive to further in their trade.
When you say artistes, you mean artists? Is this something, a term of art or something? Because you said artistes, so I'm just curious.
So this was something that we inherited from the previous administration. It's the reason why adjunct licenses and positions are a part of the Indiana Code is that we do know there's a shortage of teachers out there. So historically, what the previous administration did was they employed artistes, which they were individuals who had a background in a variety of different artistic kinds of expertise in, meaning they were, let's say, experts in sound or voice or dance or theater. So historically, these artistes were teaching theater, choir, and a variety of different positions within our district. What we looked at is to professionalize this and to incentivize our artistes to eventually become licensed. We did look at an individual with a minimum of 4 years of experience in a particular area could be considered an adjunct teacher. So what we've also done in order to incentivize them is to provide them a stair step to further their education to eventually become a fully licensed teacher.
Do you anticipate, or is it written in here, or is it limited to only artistes? Or do you envision some time, because how it reads to me is it can be anybody.
You are correct. So when the law was put into place, it again is in line with the fact that we are at a shortage for a variety of experts to come in and teach our children. And some of our experts might not have a traditional teaching path. And so it does not limit it to that. Many other districts utilize artistes to teach things like adjunct teachers to teach things like exercise science or health or any other number of subject areas where an individual could benefit from their background for our students' sake.
Okay, so just so we're clear for everybody listening, these adjunct teachers are going to be people who do not have a degree at all, correct?
Some of them have degrees in a bachelor's level. Some of them have, you are correct, as minimum as a high school diploma. But similarly, we also have individuals that, as an example, qualify for a workplace specialist license that is very similar when they're involved with CTE. So as an example here at our Gary Area Career Center, one of the individuals might not necessarily have a full bachelor's degree, but if they're an expert in welding, or let's say they are a current EMT and they can certify our students to become EMTs, they may not have a full bachelor's degree. That is correct.
I think one key that I want the board to know, because we are very much about people having a pathway to being fully certified and highly qualified as teachers. We've made that clear when we talked about the emergency permits, for example. The adjunct not only gives us a way to support staff members who, as we say, are already working for us under the direction of Senator Mark Spencer. They actually work under his department. We are trying to encourage them to go to school, and we have. Some of them are already attending and enrolling. But it's because they have already been here, and we are trying to support a path forward, not only to support them, but it also helps us in terms of the fact that we can pay their stipends out of the education fund in terms of their salaries.
Thank you for that, Superintendent. Do you anticipate that any of these adjunct teachers will teach any core subjects like science, math, reading, anything like that?
I do not anticipate that.
Okay, so when you say not anticipate, this authority that we would be granting you would be giving you the authority to do so if you decided to tomorrow.
Which you as a collective board can actually vote on whether or not adjunct teachers get approved.
Okay. So this would give you, if we approve this, then you all will be approved to hire adjunct professors and then, adjunct professors, adjunct teachers. And then when you decide to, like what's on the personnel report here with the RTs, then we vote on it.
That is correct.
Okay, so, but normally the practice is to have this on the consent agenda, so it wouldn't necessarily, if I'm not here, it's not gonna be discussed. So I just, I suppose my issue is, I would hate to see a situation where our kids don't have certified teachers, not even people with bachelor's degrees, who are in the room teaching math, let's say. So that's all I wanted to say. I wanted to hear more about this. This was on the consent agenda too, which, I think is important. I know, well, you're above human resources. How many virtual teachers do we still have?
9.
Okay. And how many do we start with?
14.
So did the other 5 get their license? I mean, did we have teachers that have licenses that were hired and they were then not needed?
That's correct.
Okay.
So I do want to interject. If you guys know anything about me, you're not gonna have to worry about somebody who does not have, at minimum, a bachelor's degree teaching our students in language arts for math. Because we are very much pushing, as you know, from the virtual situation, the proximity, we want highly qualified educators. As I've shared and as Joe has shared, these are teachers or artistes, as they were termed, who already work for us. And we have been working diligently to find a path forward to have them be professionally licensed.
Okay.
As an example, other school districts also use adjunct teachers to teach subject areas like health in order to support students for a credit that is required for their graduation.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any additional questions? May we have roll call for approval, please?
Dr. Woods,
Yes.
Attorney Lockett,
Yes.
Mr. Johnson,
Yes.
Mr. Suggs,
Yes.
and I say yes.
With a vote of 5 yes and 0 against, the motion for approval of personnel report has been approved. At this point, Dr. Craig.
Please know, board members, that Dr. Craig is standing in for Dr. Treadwell. She is actually out at a conference, and so Dr. Craig is backing up for her in a great way.
Thank you, Dr. Stokes. Good evening again. It's a little evening for me. Joe, okay, so and now that the personnel report has been approved by the school board, I may now announce the new principal for Westside Leadership Academy. The new principal for Westside Leadership Academy name is Candace Lilly. Candace comes to us with 22 years of experience in education. She spent 10 years as an administrator in Maryville, and she graduated from Gary Community School Corporation. Candace is still a resident of Gary, Indiana. She was a
assistant principal at Maryville High School and is currently a principal for the middle school in Maryville. She was also over major operations when she was an assistant principal at Maryville High School, and she was also the director of student services. Please let us congratulate officially the new principal of Westside Leadership Academy, Candace Moore.
Thank you so much, and good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
First of all, I would like to say thank you to the board, the school board, Gary Community School Corporation, to Mr. Suggs. I want to thank Dr. Stokes, Dr. Treadwell, Dr. Craig. I want to acknowledge the teachers, the administrators, the students, the staff who are all a part of this process and choosing the next leader. And I am honored now to serve as the new principal of Westside Leadership Academy. As was mentioned, I was born in Gary, Indiana, at Gary Methodist North Lake. I attended Emerson School for the Visual Performing Arts. Went to Webster Elementary, and I'm a proud product of Gary Community School Corporation. And there have been a lot of things that have come out of Gary besides the Jacksons that are great. And so I'm just proud to be on this team now and do what I can to help continue to move Westside Leadership Academy forward. So I look forward to meeting the rest of the students, the parents, the staff, because we're going to do this together. We're going to move forward and continue all the good things that are in place and build upon that. So I just thank you all so much. I am proud to be back home and be a part of the Gary team. Thank you so much.
Thank you for the introduction and welcome to Gary Community Schools. We'll move to item 6 on our agenda, action items. Item 6.1. Ms. Sikovich, please.
Good evening, board members, again, community at large, and Dr. Stokes. This is an annual occurrence that happens across school districts, across Indiana and across the United States. We are going into hiring season. In Gary, Indiana, at the Gary Community School Corporation, we are always hiring, but this is the really big time for us to be hiring. So delays in approval processes can significantly impact our district's ability to maintain appropriate staffing levels. So this is requesting for the board to approve the temporary authority for the superintendent to approve staff recommendations for hire. Again, this is a common resolution that is put forward in accordance with Indiana Code 20-26-5-4.3, titled Delegation of Authority by the Governing Body.
Thank you. I would entertain a motion for approval of item 6.1.
Mr. President, I so move.
There's a motion on the floor. May I have a second?
Second.
It's been moved and properly second. Discussion on the motion?
Yes. Thank you. We meet monthly here.
We do.
So are you saying that the 28, 30 days in between is too much time?
1000%. What I will tell you is that hiring in school districts has become a full contact sport. So the same candidate that I'm vying for is being vied for by all of our area school districts, and if they can get this person onboarded and get the offer in front of them and be secured without having to worry about board approval and making sure that they can give notice to their previous school, yes, it does inhibit.
Does that happen often?
It does.
Okay. Thank you, that's all I have.
Any additional questions? Roll call for approval, please.
Dr. Woods?
Yes.
Attorney Lockett?
Yes.
Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
Mr. Suggs?
Yes.
And I say yes.
With 5 yes and 0 against, item 6.1 has been approved. Item 6.2, Dr. Stokes.
Yes, Crystal, if you can put the, so we talked about these policies. It's actually been a couple board meetings ago because we were going to do them last time and we decided to just hold them over. So if you look on the screen, there are just several policies that have been revised or rescinded or replaced with some minor things to make sure that they align with the Indiana Code. I do want to say that in your agenda down the road, we do have some volume 38-2 policies that have come forward. So unless there's a specific policy that you have a question about, if the board will so approve, you have all of these policies. If you will, I ask for you to approve these policies, understanding that later on there are a couple more policies that are part of a volume 2 that we will also need to have you approve.
Thank you, Dr. Stokes. That being said, item 6.2, I will entertain a motion.
I did have a question. I mean, in regards to that, in terms of the staff dress and appearance, I see that nice shirt that Mr. Johnson has on. And I'm just wondering, if there's gonna be a board policy in terms of style.
Mr. Irving, we have to approve the motion.
Motion, then a second. Discussion.
Yes.
Having been familiarized with most of every one of these policies and have attended the policy committee meetings, I so make that motion.
I'll second that.
It's been moved, properly second. Are there any questions on the motion that's on the table?
Yeah, where are these policies at?
They're in our board docs. They're in the board docs, but until they are actually approved, they don't show because they're not official until the board approves them.
I haven't seen them, is what I'm saying.
You have them on we send them via email and you have them
On your desktop. Mrs. Patton.
Sorry.
Just tell me what it is, just so I can see, because I just don't see it.
You show her where her things are. Show her where her policies are.
Thank you, it's in the folder.
You're welcome.
Any additional discussion? May we have roll call, please?
Dr. Woods?
Yes.
Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
Attorney Lockett?
No.
Mr. Suggs?
Yes.
And I say yes.
With 4 members saying yes and 1 no, item 6.2 has been approved. Item 6.3, Dr. Stokes, please.
All right. So, if we can have, the board, can we put the 6.3 up? Request for approval of the board policy. If you guys look in your notes there, this is the, Crystal, can you blow it up just a little bit? Okay, well, you have it actually on your desktops, but we have our board meetings set. We're just basically recommending to follow that same schedule unless the board's privy is to do a different schedule. So we basically put the schedule that we have now, which is what, the second Thursday of every month. We just need a schedule for the 26-27 school year, and it starts July 1. We didn't want to wait till June, so we're bringing it in, asking for approval. If you do not choose to approve it, then we would have to bring something back in June that would then have to be approved. So this is the continuation of the schedule that we're on now, the second Thursday of every month.
Thank you. I will entertain a motion on item 6.3, the approval of the 26-27 school board policy meeting schedule.
So
There's a motion on the floor. May I have a second?
Second.
Been moved, properly second. Discussion on this motion.
Mr. Chair, just for clarification, you indicated that it was for the policy meeting, but it is actually board and policy committee.
Board and policy.
I'm sorry, I misspoke. Thank you. Any discussion on the board and policy meeting schedule?
Yes. I just think that it is a bad idea, like I've been saying since I got to this board, that we are having meetings at 4:30 in the afternoon when we want to be inclusive of our audience, which are parents and students, and a lot of parents, I venture to say the majority, are not even off work by 4:30 p.m. So us having these meetings at 4:30 in the afternoon, I don't know why we do it that way. We're at this point now where we can approve a new a schedule, is that the word I'm looking for? A new schedule for our meetings. So I just will voice my continued objection to having these meetings at 4:30 in the afternoon when parents are still at work. We want parents to be involved. We want them to show up. We don't show them that when we schedule our meetings at 4:30 in the afternoon on a weekday. So I'm going to object to this agenda, what am I saying? I am going to object to the school board meetings and the policy meetings. The policy meeting is even worse. That's at 4 o'clock. So I'm going to object, and my objection will be because I do not think that the meetings starting in the middle of the afternoon are a good idea when we want parents to be involved. I think that is a hindrance to it. Thank you.
Any additional discussion on this motion? May we have roll call, please?
Dr. Woods,
Yes.
Mr. Suggs,
Yes.
Attorney Lockett,
No.
Mr. Johnson,
Yes.
and I say yes, the vote is 4-1.
With a vote of 4 yes and 1 no, the 26-27 school board policy meeting schedule and policy meeting schedule has been approved. Item number 6.4 on our agenda, Mrs. Winnington and Mr. Richards.
Good evening, board members, Dr. Stokes and Gary community. First of all, I must say after all of these wonderful awards, I almost hate to be the person that has to bear this news to the students that we are banning cell phones during instructional time. Personal devices, all personal devices. Thank you, Chelsea. So with that being said, Ms. Whittington and I are here this evening to request approval for the revised board policies 5136 and 5136.01, which deals with the personal communication devices and electronic equipment for students during instructional time. Next, please.
Correction, please.
Yes.
From bell to bell.
From bell.
Not just instructional time, the whole day.
The whole day, bell to bell. And so this revision is set to align the district with the new Indiana updated statutory requirements and best practices for students' devices during the instructional days and bell to bell. Next one. And that policy 5136 is personal communication devices, also known as PCDs, applies to cell phones, smartphones, connected smartwatches, which means that they can still wear the smartwatch, but if it's connected to any type of other device or any other internet, that will be banned. Also tablets, gaming devices, web-enabled devices. So these are what is called personal communication devices, and they are the subject of the district policy 5136. Next, please. Also, no devices during the school day, bell to bell. Under policy 5136, students are prohibited to bring these devices, but there are also some exceptions to the law, and that is if there's medical needs with proper documentation, a licensed healthcare provider from a licensed healthcare provider, also IEPs, accommodations as outlined in the student's individual education program, also section 504 accommodations where there's disabilities as outlined in the student section 504 plan. Emergencies authorized by school administration doing emergency language translation, and also teacher-directed instructional use, which it will be approved by the administration. Next. Also, this law also says that devices are restricted on school buses. So students may not use personal communication devices on school buses during the school day. This will also have the oversight of the administration pertaining to emergencies.
So,
What are you asking the board to do?
No, I saw Attorney Lockett shaking her head. I thought she had questions.
I definitely have questions.
go ahead, Chelsea.
I just wanted to emphasize my role in this, as this is effective July 1, and this is for the entire state of Indiana. We do not want to make the mistake to believe that this is just the Gary Community School Corporation. So if you have any thoughts of exiting the district, which we don't want you to do, you will encounter the same law at every school across the state. We will be working with parents and families to have you to have this information ahead of time, which is why we are announcing and making this request in May and not waiting till the first day of school in August, so that parents and families can be advocates to assist us with the messaging and also give input on how we monitor and oversee this so that we have a seamless transition into this. We know it won't be 100% seamless, but we have an opportunity now with our signage and all of my communication vehicles through the district to help parents and families help us to administer and to implement this law if approved by the Board of Trustees.
So I do need to make a comment about the approval. I've been asked by some representatives and family members and community members as well, if it's an Indiana law, why do we then ask the board to approve it? Two reasons. One, we want to be able to share the impact of the proposed law. And two, just out of courtesy for oversight, we want our board to be aware of the fact that this policy will exist and the board does exist to approve policy. So I get what they're saying. Legally, we have to do it, but we ask our board to approve it, precautionary ways of doing things, and just because we respect their oversight.
And I also do want to show that this covers the Student Privacy and Safety Act, where it prohibits unauthorized recording or photography, protects privacy in the locker rooms, restrooms, and changing areas. Also, this is a big one, addresses cyberbullying, sexting, harassment, and academic dishonesty, and this supports a safer school climate. Okay, next please. So also we have the enforcement and discipline violations may result in confiscation or disciplinary actions. Parents, guardians may have to pick up the phone, pick up the cell phone if it's confiscated. Serious violations may involve law enforcement. District is not responsible for the loss or stolen devices. Okay. And also 5136.01, which is the revised of 5136, deals with other electronic devices, personal electronic devices like headphones, gaming devices, cameras, radios, and similar devices to personal devices. Okay, next. But with that said, the district technology will still be used and issued for instructional learning and will remain permitted within the classroom during instructional days bell to bell. Okay. And so, that being said, we are asking and requesting that the board approves policies 5136 and 5136.01.
Thank you for the presentation. At this point, I will entertain a motion on item 6.4, the approval of wireless communication device policy bell to bell.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion to pass item 6.4.
There's a motion to pass.
Yeah.
Support approved.
Yeah, move.
Item 6.4, is there a second?
I'll second. I'll second.
It's been moved and properly second. Discussion
Yes.
on the motion?
Mr. Chair, I just want to let the public know that Indiana School Boards Association fought this law vigorously, and many of us actually testified before House and Senate subcommittees in regards to this law, because many school districts have one-to-one devices that the students bring in themselves. The district doesn't provide the device. And it's going to place undue hardship on those districts. Also, the intent of the law, they said, was safety. But with the amount of incidents that happen on school property, I believe it would be safer for students if they had their devices. Unfortunately, the law passed. We have no choice but to follow the law. But just know that ISBA is still working, trying to get this law to change.
Additional comments?
Yes. Just in terms of superintendent, when you said that this is kind of perfunctory and it's the law, there are different options that you can choose in here. So it's not that this is the way that you all, and I'm not saying what you did is wrong, I'm just saying that there are other ways that you can implement this law instead of the way that we are going forward with implementing this law. And so part of that is that the options that are being chosen, that we are being voted, that we're gonna vote on, is that they don't have the phone, like she said, from bell to bell, or this here says that they can't even use it when they're on the bus, right? So it could have been that they could have used it when they were on the bus. So it's not just that this is the law doesn't say you have to not let them use it on the bus. You can choose.
I just want to correct you. No, the law says they cannot use them on the buses also.
Right here in the law, that when we chose our X's or not on here, there's an option. Students are permitted to. So it seems to me that you could have checked A or you could have checked B. So, and I'm not even trying to argue that point, because unlike you, I think it's a great idea that they don't have their phones in the classroom, okay? But there also is an option that...
Hold it. First of all, what I'm saying is that they have their devices on. Did I say that they have them out in the classroom? No, they shouldn't have them out in the classroom. But they should be able to have their devices on.
They can. Based on this, they can have it on them, which is exactly what I was going to say. I don't think that's a good idea. Maybe they can have a home that they put it in when they walk into class, and they got to put it there so the teachers know that their phone is right here at the top, but we did right here at the front of the class, but we didn't choose that way, but that was an option. So also though, I just feel like even when it came to the uniform policy, if you're gonna have a policy and it's not going to be enforced, then what is the purpose of the policy except for to make the children think like, I can do what I want, they don't care what I do, and I'm just gonna carry my phone, when you're gonna have teachers, when it's not in the front and they're gonna see people with their phone and they're gonna be, at some point maybe it'll be like, I don't care, it's 30 people with their phone, but if they had it up front, maybe they wouldn't see their phone, they wouldn't have it, they wouldn't be pulling it out. Also, when you're talking about they can't use their phone on the bus driver's driving. Who's enforcing that? So that's all.
Can I speak to that?
Yes.
Please.
All right. So the reason we're going the route we are going is because here's the reality. You're right. It takes you, it takes me, it takes all of us, including the parents, to make sure our students follow this law. We're not going to go in the child's purse and say, do you have a phone in your purse? We're not going to do that. We're not going to go in somebody's pocket and say, do you have a phone in your pocket? But the reality is, it should not be out. If there are emergency situations or kids who need them for, as he shared, for bilingual usage, or it's in their IEP for medical reasons or what have you, we will know that and we understand that. We do expect, and you just met our new high school principal, we do expect to inspect what we expect. So you're right. it takes you, me, and all of us. Our teachers have to understand, our students have to understand, and we've talked about the fact that, as you just shared, if we don't hold our students accountable for what we're asking, they will just do what they want to do. So we're not saying that we don't want children to be children, but school is important. Our students need to learn how to read, and quite honestly, the phones have become a distraction, not just the phones, but other things. And even if we unfortunately have a situation where kids get in a fight, I want to share you something that is very troubling. Phones go out, kids are recording, and you know what? It used to be if there was a fight, and let's just say a student quote unquote lost the fight, they might get teased a little bit and that would be it. Not in today's age. Somebody puts it out on social media and that kid is continually being traumatized or bullied in some cases. This rule will help with all of that. So I hear what you're saying, but for us, the reason we say bus and bell to bell, because when they leave the house, they're technically, when they get on that bus, they're under our leadership. And the buses, and not just, you gotta understand, we gonna build experiences on the bus, and we didn't wanna start trying to say here, yes, no, there. It gets confusing for children.
I'm just saying, how do you ever enforce it?
You're right, unless some of us have aids on them. Those who don't, you're absolutely right. There's probably not an enforcement, but we don't want them to get into the habit of saying, I can do this here and then here I can't. And I've already been asked about, what about the bathrooms? Well, we're not gonna peek under stalls, but the expectation is that kids know the rules and they know they shouldn't have them out, so that if they get caught with them, they will have to deal with whatever consequences come with that.
Dr. Stokes, also with the buses, we have cameras on all of our buses. It may be after the fact for monitoring, but as we continue to monitor that activity, we can identify those students that are violating through the surveillance. And our Director of Security is also here tonight.
And if I could ask a question, was the motion by Board Member Johnson to pass on this, so we would not vote on it today? Was that the motion?
No.
To approve.
Oh, to approve. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay.
Any additional discussion on this motion? Roll call, please.
Dr. Wood,
Yes.
Mr. Johnson,
Yes.
Attorney Lockett,
Yes.
Mr. Suggs,
Yes.
and I vote yes.
With a vote of 5 yes and 0 against, the approval of the wireless device policy bell to bell has been approved.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's move on to item 6.5 on our agenda. District administrators will share.
District administrators.
If you can all go up just in case I need you. And Crystal, can you go to the next slide, please? So essentially what has happened and what happens all the time, I feel like, yeah, all of you go up, please. We have a new volume 38, number 2, is revised corporation updates. And because they are revised, they are actually policies that we have, so we don't have to do a first and second read. There's already been 2 readings. We're gonna just do this today as an approval because of the revisions. You have all of these policies in front of you, but I want you to look, and if there is something that you want further explanation on, my team is here to explain. I'm gonna look, and Joe talked already about the adjunct teachers. I'm gonna see if there's one that I think we may need to mention. Mr. Faison, are you here? Yes. I do want to mention the school safety one. I think just that particular one, unless there's another one that you guys are interested in. Mr. Faison, because, you know, all of them are important, but school safety is most important.
Good evening, Dr. Stokes, board members, everyone here, and we're all. Thank you. Okay, sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Good evening, everyone. The actual safety one that we have here is basically just talking about the actual, all right, I have my notes here, sorry. So, the SROs, basically, talks about the actual not allowing weapons into the school, if what the circumstances are, if the weapons will be allowed in the school. It talks about what the SRO can and cannot do. It just actually gave them power to, if they are able to pursue someone who's at the school, leave grounds and go and chase that person to make sure to make an arrest. And also it talks about if we decide, which has not been done yet, if we decide to have a committee that will come together to have a city plan or committee plan for the school.
So the one thing I wanted to emphasize is because there's a belief that the SROs are only bound to like the high school or the middle school or elementary schools. He just shared if something was happening, they can pursue them. Is that what you just said?
That is correct. Even though it's here now, it has always been that way because they have police powers, not just at the school, but throughout the state.
Those who don't have police powers, though, you might speak to that.
The security officers, no, they cannot form an arrest. They cannot actually leave the grounds and chase them.
Thank you. All right, that's what I want to clear. Is there any other one that you all would like us to explain more? All right, thank you, team.
I will entertain a motion on item 6.5 on our agenda.
So moved, Mr. President.
So motion on the floor. May I have a second?
Second.
Moved, properly second. Discussion on the motion, please. May we have roll call, please?
Dr. Woods,
Yes.
Mr. Johnson,
Yes.
Attorney Lockett,
Yes.
Mr. Suggs,
Yes.
and I say yes, the vote is 5-0.
With a vote of 5 yes and 0 against. Item number 6.5, volume 38, number 2, revised corporation updates has been approved. Let's move on to item 6.6 on our agenda. Dr. Craig, Mrs. Zaborowski.
Good evening, Gary Community School Board members, Dr. Stokes, and community members. This evening, I would like to request a pre-approval of a payment to purchase supplies for 2 of our schools. It is whiteboards for Bailey Middle School and Gary Middle School. There's a little backstory to this. All the other schools were updated with whiteboards and other forms of, whether it be technology or instructional supplies in the classrooms. These 2 schools, one of them was written into ESSER 3 and the other was not. So this would now make them up to speed with whiteboards in their classroom instead of using chalkboards. And the company that Dr. Treadwell had chose, we received 3 quotes. One of the quotes would not do any of the taking down of the chalkboards and then the installation. We could only purchase the whiteboards. The other 2 incorporated taking them down, the labor, and then installing them. And we of course chose the lower priced one, which is Kingdom Kitchen and Bath. And part of the requirements is that a prepayment before the supplies are even ordered must be made. I spoke to Indiana State Board of Accounts, and there is a form that we fill out for this. It's called Form 98P. So I have attached it for your review. We partially filled it out. I did not fill out the vendor information or anything until this was approved. And I have Dr. Craig here just to talk a little bit about why we want to put these whiteboards in the classroom.
And if I might, just for more clarity, we typically don't prepay for things, but the State Board of State Board of Accounts said this is one of the new ways that you can, because some companies want some of their money up front. So now we have to deal with that.
And the reason we fill out this Form 98P is because this is probably something that would be pulled in an audit. So this would be more accountability that the board has reviewed and approved this.
Thank you. The reason why we want to ensure that our schools are updated with the current whiteboards that we are requesting to be approved is because the whiteboards allow our teachers to be able to present their instructional materials in a more updated fashion. It allows us to be able to present things like this onto our students, to our classroom walls. The students have the opportunity to utilize markers or dry erase boards to be able to communicate and write their answers, and the teachers are able to utilize that also as a smartboard screen if need be. Additionally, for health concerns, chalkboards are very outdated. It does release that dust in the air, which does trigger students with breathing issues, students who have asthma, and causes other allergens in the air that we do not want our students to have to deal with, which may cause them to miss school. We 100% want our students to be present in school. We want to have the most up-to-date materials for our students to have proper instruction.
Thank you. I will entertain a motion from the board for item 6.6, prepayment of classroom upgrade for Bailey and Gary Middle School. Are there any questions or discussion?
Yes.
Please.
You said that, sorry. So looking at the documents here, you said that the Kingdom, which you all chose, was Kingdom Kitchen and Bath LLC. Their price was $9,200, chalkboard removal, material supplies, installation labor. Comes to $139. Okay, so then here it says school fixed catalog, I suppose it says. They come to 108.
Correct, but that is without labor. They will not take down.
So then it's 108 minus the labor. Is that what you're saying?
No, it's 108 for the actual supplies. They will not do any of the labor in taking down of the chalkboards. So that would we would have to hire another company to come in and take down the boards. So it would be more expensive. And our staff, unfortunately, there are how many chalkboards?
There are approximately 30 to 40 chalkboards in those buildings collectively.
So if they come in, if the Kingdom Kitchen comes in at 138, whatever I just said, 139. And they came in at 108, but they're not gonna remove the chalkboards, but the line item on Kingdom is 9,000 to remove the chalkboards, which maybe that's it would be industry, what would be expected, I don't know.
According to the research that Dr. Treadwell did, that is extremely reasonable.
So if 108 and let's say you got somebody else to do the removal, then we're still, I don't know, about 10, 20,000 below. But I'm just saying you'd want to have it all in the same one. I'm just saying that.
Agreed.
Maybe it could have been cheaper.
We don't want to split hairs because it makes it, then it voids any kind of warranty or anything that we have when you got two different companies. Because who's to say that company A didn't make the fault versus company B, and then we gotta argue with who's gonna fix it and who's gonna pay for it. It's more streamlined and clean to have one company doing it all.
When you said that what's they're gonna argue with, or who's gonna argue about whatever happened, in Kingdom Kitchen, they have in here a line that if they remove it and it's more of a problem than they thought, then they're gonna charge us more.
And that's standard.
Yeah, I was gonna say those are, what's that word we use, some change order type of deal.
Yeah,
that comes with anything, Mr. Suggs, in your area.
That would be a change order.
Yeah, what I'm saying though is that, so it sounds like what they're saying is if they remove it and it's, I don't know, they gotta fix the wall before they put something up.
Like they have mold behind it or something.
Yeah, so they're gonna charge. So what I'm saying that if it was down and they came in, they're gonna charge you anyway. It's not like their 139 includes whatever the condition of the wall may be behind it. So that's all I'm gonna say. I'm not trying to do your job, so I'm gonna leave it alone, but just in terms of the cheapest, I don't know, well, I suppose from these quotes, with the second quote here,
there's actually two components to it. So they are more expensive because they I believe it was labor, right? It was 42 and
That was 42 for just demolition. Well, 15 for demolition, I'm sorry, dumpster fee and then labor. 42.
That's the second quote, I
Yeah.
believe.
They can't hear you.
Right.
Yeah, so yeah, there was, demolition for 15, dumpster fee,
Mhm.
and then labor at 24, which came out to a total of 42.
Yeah, that second quote doesn't make much sense at all, at least not to me.
Well, no,
Because,
that's just what they're doing, and that didn't include any materials.
It did not include any materials, just the removal.
because if they have demolition price per board is $65, and then they have labor price per board, like, those seem to be the same thing. But they didn't even put in the fee.
They did not.
Anything else, so, okay,
No.
thank you.
Dr. Treadwell did her research on this, and she felt that Kingdom Kitchen was the best solution for our students, and to have it also done before school starts.
Thank you. I do have a question.
Sure.
Dr. Craig, for you. I believe you shared that the new boards will be like a monitor, a screen, and also a dry erase board. You can do all of those items?
Yes, the monitors will be multifaceted, where you're able to do multiple things on them, where students can write on the boards, things can be projected on the boards, and the students will be able to, the teacher will be able to utilize it for her presentation.
And oftentimes you can also use them as touch screens.
Yes.
Wow. Okay. Any additional questions? May we have roll call? Thank you.
We gotta make a motion.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought we.
No, we didn't.
We had a discussion. We did.
No, we didn't.
Would you, I'll entertain a motion, please.
I will make that motion, sir.
May I have a second?
Second.
It's been moved and properly second. Any additional discussion? May we have roll call, please?
Dr. Woods,
Yes.
Mr. Johnson,
Yes.
Attorney Lockett,
Yes.
I say yes, and Mr. Suggs?
Yes.
All right, the vote is 5-0.
With a vote of 5 yes and 0 against, the prepayment has been approved. Thank you.
Thank you so much. The teachers are gonna be ecstatic too. Thank you.
Thank you. Item 7, informational items, doesn't show any on the agenda. Items 8, administrative report. Mrs. Zaborowski.
Yes, thank you. I am providing a financial update for March 2026. This first slide shows our 3 major funds: our education fund, referendum fund, and operations fund. And to the far left is our approved 2026 budget appropriations. I've listed January expenses, February, and March. Total year-to-date expenses, and then the unexpensed or overexpense. What this means is if I was over our budget appropriation, you would see these as a negative. Then my last column is the percentage of the budget remaining. So as you will see, we are very in line after the first quarter of 2026. Any questions about this specifically? And this is kind of just a snapshot for you. And here's another, just kind of a view of our approved budget numbers for the 3 major funds, our total year-to-date expenses, and then our unexpensed and over, if it was over. Just kind of a screenshot. Next, we have the cash flow for the education fund. We are balanced through March. There really wasn't anything out of the ordinary that occurred in the education fund, other than it continues to maintain a healthy cash balance through March. Overall, the education fund reflects stable financial management. At the end of March, we have a cash fund balance of $21,019,837.
Can I take a point of privilege and say something here?
Sure.
Well, Mr. Suggs needs to give me that.
Sure.
Thank you. I just want to remind us, when people see that number and they hear that, as you know, Ms. Dabrowski, the education fund can only be used for certain things. So I don't want people to think, oh, you got all that money.
That is exactly correct. Yes.
Thank you for the point of clarification.
Sure. Next, can we move that down a little bit? This is the education fund. I think all the board members have it in front of them.
Yes.
The operations fund continues to maintain a stable and positive through March. Monthly expenditures did exceed our receipts during certain periods of time. The fund remains financially stable due to referendum transfers into here from the education fund and our property tax distributions. I did request an early tax draw, specifically to pay down the common school loans and our debt payments. So at the end of March, our cash fund balance in the operations fund is $7,317,663. One thing I did want to note, we did not make a transportation payment in March. The first student had some issues with the invoicing again, so we did not pay it.
So we're gonna see that later then.
We will. Yep. If you look, I budgeted, I moved it to April. And then we have the referendum fund. Thank goodness for the referendum fund. That transfer that we make, the $700,000 every month and the $100,000 into the education fund is imperative. And that we continue this. The referendum fund at the end of March is left with a cash balance of $4,293,462. Any questions about that?
No questions.
Okay, next. So here's our future financial keys. I just wanted to bring up a few items that are in the process that will be paying or money that we're going to be receiving very soon. Gary Up Westside bathroom renovation is in the final phases. We anticipate and hope that the bathrooms will be completed by graduation. So the surge bathrooms will be open. I requested, as I stated earlier, an early tax draw, which is 2025 tax money. I would love to tell you that I know the number we're going to get in May and then the remainder in June, but they do not share that with me. They don't share the percentage. It shows up in our account and then they send me paperwork. Next, the McCullough tornado renovation is complete. The building is back to normal. It only took a year.
Yeah.
Final payment to Powers and Sons will go out in June, and it's just a few $1,000s. So we've received all of our reimbursements from the insurance company.
Was that on budget?
Yes. Generators. We've had several instances where the weather has not agreed with us and it has caused power outages in some of our buildings, and we've had to pivot and move the students to the Career Center. So what we did was, I couldn't understand why the generators didn't pop on. Well, they hadn't been serviced in years. So I had my director of building grounds and maintenance call and have a few vendors come out, assess all the generators that we have in the buildings and see what would it take to get them going. So we have McCullough, Williams, GPA, and Banneker that only need minor maintenance done, which is approximately probably a total of $10,000. So we will have all of these generators up and running. Westside is a total replacement. And when I say total replacement, the entire generator is cracked. There's no repairs to it whatsoever. We are getting estimates on what that would take to get a new generator at Westside. Beveridge, Bailey, GMS, Bethune, Career Center do not have generators. I did not work that into the budget, but I could do that in future. GMS total window replacement is in process, so we will make sure that this fall they will not have any issues with the cold. And I just wanted to bring to the board's attention, May and October are a 3-pay cycle. Any questions?
Yes. Anybody? I just have a couple.
Sure.
So looking at the, just so I can understand, on the education fund.
Yep.
In June. June, it says transfers from debt service, $5,446,615. What's that?
So if you recall, at several of the last board meetings, I discussed the common school loans. And what we do is when we receive our basic grant money, the IDOE deducts our common school loan payments. We have 12 common school loan payments that were from previous administration. We have to, now that we are no longer under state takeover, we have to pay those back. So they deduct it from our basic grant. So then what we do is, in order to pay back the education fund, because the education fund should have received all of that money, but IDOE deducts a portion of it. Our debt service fund is the fund where property tax money is received. We are supposed to use that money to repay back the education fund.
So is that what that represents?
Yes. So I wanted to be transparent. I don't know that I'm going to receive enough to cover that, but I anticipate a good portion of it.
So share what the State Board of Accounts has shared, or IDOE. If you don't receive enough, you just can't pay it back.
Right, statute states that you do not have to pay it back. It doesn't say must, it says may.
You may not pay it back.
You may pay it back, but it doesn't say you must pay it back.
And in good record keeping, we want to pay it back if we get it, but if we don't collect enough tax dollars, then we can't.
So, do you have, when you said this part of our debt service, is there like a chart like this about the debt?
I believe I issued, at one of the last board meetings, I believe I did a debt schedule of the loans. I didn't do it this time.
How about we do it again next month?
Sure.
So that they can see
Sure.
it.
Yep.
Appreciate that.
Sure.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
Please.
Just also, have you been seeing, or is it prepared for the rise, or I don't know how it goes, like the contract with the school buses? I don't know if your contract is that they're gonna eat this rise in gas, or are they gonna push it on to us, and then is there, I mean, cause you could be like, I bargained for, $3 and then it go up, that's on you. I don't know what the bargain is, but what's the plan? Because it seems like, things are getting wild, in terms of these prices of gas and electricity, energy in general. Like, what's that doing to our corporation?
We are under contract, and it is a fixed amount per bus ride there and to, so they cannot increase it on us. but we will have to go out for an RFP after next year.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Okay. Glad to hear that.
I'm not.
No, I'm glad to hear that it's
Oh.
not on us right now.
Oh.
I mean, maybe by then, the world will be
Things will
back to
change.
normal. Perhaps. No, that's all I had, thank you.
Just a couple things.
Sure, Mr. Suggs.
I really like your interpretation of the May payback rules, but Dr. Stokes always speaks of trust but verified. Have we verified that that is the actual ruling?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
And I assume.
I'm honest engine.
Thank you. I assume that this generator issue where they haven't been maintained in 2 years, it has now become a standard operating
It
procedure.
has. There's a few things that I would like to implement moving forward. One is making sure we service the generators. Also, we need vent cleaning done, and that also has not been done in years. And you know, there's particles in the air and everything. That is something that I would like on a schedule.
And lastly, the determination in regards to West Side and also the schools that don't have a generator is that we will not have generators in those schools, or we will repair or replace West Side. Just clarification.
Yep, I will, I am looking at quotes for the West Side total replacement, because I do believe the building that probably needs it is West Side. Some of the other ones might be a smaller expense, and I can gladly get quotes and work it in the budget.
Thank you. Any additional?
Actually, I do. That just reminded me, say work it into the budget. Would it ever be worked in the budget, ever, for a pool at Westside? Can we just say we're ever gonna do it or not?
However, I think, you know, if we focus on things that directly impact our students, like right now, you know, we can't have beams falling or the roof falling in. So, you know, if we can find money for certain things, you know, we've got people who want certain things with Roosevelt and a pool, and we want a brand new school. There are lots of things that we really want for this community, and our kids deserve it. But we do have to move forward with the money that we have and try to make sure that we create a safe physical environment. And so that's kind of where we're focusing on right now with the resources we have. So I'm not gonna say never, Angela, but we hear you. Actually, Linda had somebody look into the.
I did.
Tell us about it.
I don't have it in front of me, so I would rather not speak of it right now, but I did receive a report on what it would take to redo the pool.
If you could share that with us at the next board meeting, because it comes up and it's important to a lot of people, including me. And so we just want to know if it's feasible. If it's not, you have this report. Either way, whatever it says, if you could just share it with us, so the community knows, you know, what the status is, or if it's ever going to be one, or maybe you come and you say it's going to cost $400,000, and maybe the community will say we're gonna, well, $4 million. What? Maybe the community will say we're going to do a fundraiser for the next 3 years to raise money for it. I mean, maybe that's something that, you know, people want to take up. But if we could just see, you know, what's out there, what it may take, and perhaps one day our students can have a pool too.
So I hear what you're saying. I do want to make one comment about that. The pool is not up to code with regards to it being like a competition pool. But it would be a pool that, yes, our students can practice in or swim in. So anything we do, we need to consider all that as well.
Mr. President,
Yeah.
and I might add that we did have that information shared with us at a meeting previously. However, I understand the need for others who may not have been here, or people in the audience who don't have that information, but we were privy to that information at a meeting a while back.
Any additional discussion? Thank you, Mrs. Evans.
Thank you.
I would like to move on to item 8.2. Dr. Streeter and Ms. Adams.
Good evening, members of the board, Dr. Stokes, and community members. My name is Jamila Adams. I'm the Assistant Director of Curriculum and Assessment at Geary Community School Corporation.
Good evening, I'm Dr. Jason Streeter. I'm the Director of School Turnaround.
And we are here today to report on our new crisis management manual for the district. That's an amazing picture of all of our clinicians in Edgewater Health needing to launch our school-based health clinic at Westside this January. So I want to talk to you a little bit about the crisis management manual. It is focused on behavioral health. So when we talk about crisis management, we are not talking about security. So I want to make that clear. We met for some months as a team, and our team consisted of folks from the academic department. We had people from our student services department, as well as our special populations department. And then we had contributions from our human resources department, our public relations department, and our safety and security department. The reason that this matters and why we are doing this now, so earlier this school year, I was called out to a school. I work a lot with our behavioral health, with our discipline. And I was called out to a school because we had a situation at one of our schools, I won't say the name, but we had a student who passed away over the weekend. And the guardian of the student came into the school to notify the administrators. I previously was a counselor, and so seeing everything that was happening, we were all trying to, fill in where we could and make sure everyone was okay. But in the midst of that crisis, not only were the guardians there grieving in person, but our administrators had to jump into action to figure out, hey, okay, how are we gonna tell the students? How are we gonna tell the teachers? What correspondence do we need to send out through our school channels to our families? That's not something that should have to be done on the spot. There should be standard operating procedures in place so that administrators do not have to do that on the fly, because they are human as well, and they are in the process of grieving. We also noticed that there was no consistent operating procedure across all of our schools, and we do want there to be some consistency when it comes to behavioral health issues. And so because that shouldn't happen, we decided we were going to create something from scratch.
Okay, so you might be asking, why is this crisis manual essential? As Ms. Adams talked about, we need some symmetry across the district. So specifically, the crisis manual is needed because there has been an increase in student behavioral health needs. Crises are not if, it's when, because they're gonna happen. And so when we have inconsistencies, it creates risk. And schools need clear, immediate guidance. Without a district-wide system, responses vary from school to school. Communication can be inconsistent, and staff are left unsure in critical moments. And this manual ensures every school responds with the same level of clarity, care, and professionalism. Behavior crisis manual versus security manual. This is different. A security crisis manual deals with physical threats, lockdowns, evacuations, and law enforcement response. While the behavioral health crisis manual deals with student mental health crises, death, grief, trauma, response, suicidal ideations, emotional emergencies, family and staff communication protocols. This manual is different. It focuses on behavioral health crises, how to respond when students are in emotional distress when tragedy occurs, and how to support entire school communities.
And so I want to talk a little bit about what the manual will actually provide. So in the manual, you'll have some very clear standard operating procedures for our schools. There's a step-by-step response protocols for both suicidal ideation and homicidal ideation. There are pre-written communication templates so that in an instance like what I just spoke about, our administrators have letters to go out to staff, to students, and the community. There are defined roles and responsibilities for a crisis team at the school, as well as alignment across schools is created with this manual. And it gives those clear step-by-step procedures and creates that consistency. So instead of reacting, schools can actually respond with confidence and care. And they, as human beings, can be in touch with their emotions in the moment. So these are just a couple of screenshots we put up because I wanted you to see the table of contents. You all have the entire document. But in this manual, it talks about composing and the roles of the different members of a school crisis team, what the activation protocols are, and what additional roles and responsibilities would be of other school members. It also talks about, clearly outlines what to do before a crisis happens, what to do during a crisis, even how you respond and speak to folks that are coming in during that, as well as on the walkie. For our security staff, and then what happens after the crisis. So if there has been a crisis with a student, abuse and neglect, we don't just have suicidal ideation and homicidal ideation, but we also have student fatality, staff fatality, and abuse and neglect. After that happens, what should we do? Here are our letters, here are our protocols, how you communicate, what the roles of our school counselors and social workers are, guidance around funerals and memorials on the property of the schools, as well as employee assistance program information so that our staff can get counseling if they need it, because we want to be responsive to them as well. And then there's also a section where there are resources and forums where anyone can easily access those when they need those in a crisis. So all of those are in the manual. We try to make it as comprehensive as possible, but that there is no gray area, that everyone knows what to do in those crises.
So we know that this matters. This manual protects the students, the staff, and families, supports our leaders, because when crisis happens, it's very easy to become discombobulated. So the consistency, compassion, and response prepares us for the realities that we're facing. This manual is about being prepared, but more importantly, it's about our people. It ensures that in our most difficult moments, we respond in a way that is consistent, compassionate, and aligned as a district. Thank you.
Do you all have any questions?
Thank you. Questions?
I do have a question. Job well done. I definitely appreciate you all being proactive in this area. My question is, with the manual being there, and of course we don't want to wait till something happens before somebody looks at the manual, what would be the procedure to make sure that the people that need to be well versed on this actually are?
So every month we have meetings with our administrators, and our administrators have regular meetings with the teachers. And while I can't tell you with 100% certainty, typically our teachers, have discussion, we call it, with their students about safety protocols and things of that nature. So some call them the circles, what we call them, the round robin circles, or whatever they have. So that's how we would do it. At our administrative meetings, we would use portions of this information. At our retreat that we have every year, we would visit portions of the booklet so that it's not your first time watching it in the middle of a crisis.
And if I can add, Dr. Stokes, so our administrators, our academic department meets with them monthly. We meet with our assistant principals and we meet with our principals. The team that put together this crisis manual, we've already trained our administrators on this manual. Not only have we trained our administrators, but I have a PLC of discipline leads, so that's our deans, our in-school suspension coordinators, our behavior specialists, and social workers, and they've already been trained on this manual. Not only have those stakeholders been trained on this manual, but we also had our director of special populations was a part of that team, so she will be training her social workers. I'm training the counselors on this because I have them as well. And so we will be hitting pretty much every stakeholder, and then our administrators will then train those teachers and paraprofessionals.
Excellent job, well done.
I too applaud the creation of the manual. I do have a couple questions about the how it will be implemented. I think that this is a valuable tool, and to that point, I think it's great that you had trained administrators throughout the process and received the information, but I think it's probably necessary for all employees to understand clearly what the manual says and the interpretation of the manual, because we can all read it and maybe see things just a little bit different individually. So I would suggest maybe we would do like a video walkthrough of the manual. And I also would ask that employees sign off that they have reviewed the manual. And I would suggest almost annually, because you know, it's just like a driver's ed. You don't pass until you kind of review that book, you know, and make sure that you understand the current consequences of your actions as a driver. And also something that there is a rule for all new employees that should go through the process when they come onto the organization. So those would be just some suggestions I would hope that we consider.
So I think Dr. Craig's gonna share, but I believe we were gonna add it to the vector training. We have vector holds things that the state requires us to train on every year, and you have to sign off on it. I believe we were gonna add that to vector.
Yes, that is correct. We are gonna add that to vector, but I also wanted to state that when we have our convocation for our Institute and back to school, we're also going to include that in our training for all of our staff to be able to cycle through that training. We'll have various sessions to be able to get all of those stakeholders in at different times throughout the day. And then they will be able to sign off on that completion.
And certainly, and the value of having employees sign off, just so that we don't assume that they know, and give them all an opportunity to be aware that their expectation is, by signing, is that you're accountable for what you have read.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you so much for this.
Thank you.
Work. Appreciate it. I would like to move to item 9 on our agenda. This is board members' comments and communication. I'd open the floor for board members to share.
I just want to say great job, Dr. Stokes and the leadership team. I've been so happy with the work that all of you have done this past academic year. And I know that the year is winding down very quickly. I just want to say job well done. The presentations were outstanding. I think tonight you definitely prepared and informed us very well, and I appreciate the answers to the questions that the board had as well. So great job, everyone.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Yes.
I'd just like to say also kudos to all the young people who, the scholars, the young scholars who received the awards for the, what do we call them? Beabo and Bruce Street Awards. I think that was commendable. And to say that some of our students competed nationally and came in way at the top, I mean, I think that's admirable. There are good things happening in the Gary Community Schools, and I applaud all of you, parents, teachers, staff, administrators, for making that happen. And I do want to say, I don't know if she left yet, but welcome to Candace Lilly.
She's in the back.
That's our West Side principal. That's my school, you know. Welcome, welcome. So that's about it. And again, thank you guys for the great work that you do always.
Thank you. And I concurred with the excellence that we've heard about today, and also the full house that we had today, and the support from families and friends of our students and our staff. It's just very heartening to see that we all care. And you know, when we repeat Dr. Stokes' quotes, that mean that maybe there's something to it. But when she says it takes you, it takes me, and it takes all of us to provide success, I think that's exactly what we're showing as a team. And I certainly value that and appreciate and applaud your efforts. Any other comments, board members?
Yeah. I would also like to say congratulations and good job to the students who showed up with their awards. That was wonderful. Welcome the new principal of Westside. I look forward to hearing what your vision is for Westside. Also, just in terms of that last presentation, I think that's wonderful. I think that's needed. You know, we sit here and we talk about things are so fantastic and how great it's going, and you know, I mean, yeah, it's going great, and then it's not. Recently, we had a student that was killed, and so what she was just talking about is very much needed, but at the same time, we have 17-year-old black boys getting shot and killed in Gary and everywhere else, and it's at such a epidemic proportion, at least in my mind, and especially being a mother of a child who went to school with this child who was recently killed, and seeing how it bothers him, and him saying, they don't even care. I didn't hear one word about it. I didn't hear, not just here, just generally. It doesn't make the news. I think about the end of, Okay, you gotta forgive me, cause I'm trying not to sound crazy, cause I get, that's what you said. Cause I get emotional about some things sometimes, but so I'm trying not to. I just wanna say that if we don't do something proactively, when we have these kids, we have 4,000 kids, the majority of whom are Black, who are dealing with this violence epidemic, especially for these Black boys. And again, I'm a mother of a 15-year-old Black boy. I just think that we should, you know, it was great to hear the presentation, but what are we doing on the proactive side? That's all, something happened, now we got to deal with it. What are we doing to not deal with it at all? That they're not shooting, you know, like we have so much to work against when it comes to the music, especially, and the media out here, and it's showing these boys that this is what you're supposed to be, a thug, a killer, or whatever. I don't know, I just feel like it should be more pressing, more, like it's a fire. Like, I was so upset when I heard this baby got shot at 17, and he's gone. It's like, well, what happened? Why did they pick up guns? I don't know, like, we have these kids, we have each other, we have our minds, you know, we're all smart. I say that to say that we can think of something, you know, to counteract what's going on out here, because these babies, you know, should never have to deal with, am I gonna die because I went to a party, you know? So I just wanted to say that I think it's fantastic that they have this crisis afterwards. I just would like to see more on the beforehand, you know? Teaching, I don't know, conflict resolution and, you know, just things of that nature. And also we have these kids here, we have the opportunity, we have this career center to, I don't know, expand and have everybody. So part of it is you don't have any money. You get out of high school, you try to get a job at Amazon, it's too far, you don't have a car, whatever it may be. If you're not going on to college, I just think that we should tell everybody that leaves our corporation, leaves Westside, since that's the only high school we have, that they're going to college or they already have a skill that we can give them now, so that then they're not put into this other life where, quite frankly, they're either gonna die or they're going to go be somebody's paycheck at a jail somewhere. Okay, so that's all I got.
Any additional comments for?
Yes, I would like to give kudos to the students who received their awards today, and to the Honor Society students who got inducted today as well. I want to say congratulations and welcome to Ms. Lily, and I too look forward to you know, what her plans are for Westside as well. I will say to Ms. Lockett's point, you know, at the State of City address, the mayor did announce, well, actually, the police chief announced the reduction in crime that's going on, and some initiatives that he has planned for the summer. And so those numbers are getting better, but even one is bad. And so, you know, they're addressing it from the city level, but also, and I think they left. We had members of Phi Beta Sigma fraternity here today. There's a couple of members of Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity here right now. The fraternities have been doing a lot of mentorship in the community, and not to leave out Omega Psi Phi and Kappa Alpha Psi.
Thank you.
I don't want to get into those phone calls. But no, it's mentorship programs have been going on, and also the churches I'm a part of, one church mentorship program. And Miss Stalling, Miss Whittington. I was with your brother yesterday. So. But when she started off her report, she talked about Real Men Read and the number of men who participated. And Ms. O'Brien even told me, because I was one of those who participated, and how the students are asking for me to come back, which I'm going to do. And so, you know, people are taking that mentorship role. You know, it's as Mr. Suggs quoted Dr. Stokes, it's gonna take all of us. And it is not gonna happen overnight. But I do like the direction that we're moving in.
Thank you. Dr. Stokes?
I do just want to comment a little bit. We are doing things in the school district, and thank you for raising that awareness, because I could feel your pain when you were saying it. You almost had me in tears as well. One life loss is too much. It just is. And so we are doing our part as a school district, but there again, you know, the whole it takes you, it takes me, it takes all of us. It is truly a mindset shift with children about their value and them being desensitized to death.
Yes.
I mean, and I know Dr. Woods could probably say more about it than I could, but the reality is, as a school district, we do try to teach conflict resolution. We've got restorative practices, different things that we do to try to help our scholars, but we need the help of our community. We need the help of our parents. We need the help of everybody. So, yes.
Mr. President, I'd also like to say gives me an opportunity to say, you know, a thank you to all the people who participate in My Brother's Keeper. We've got a number of schools throughout Lake County, Indiana, and actually Northwest Indiana. But Lake County schools are the schools that participate the most, including Gary schools. And there we have men from all walks of life who participate in that program. One of the keystones that MBK, which has recently been certified by the Obama Foundation, one of the keystones is safety. And, you know, making sure that we don't have a lot of violence continue to go on in our community. And as a matter of fact, Dr. McGee is really active with that piece in our community, and he does a lot of stuff with the Gary schools. And again, we look for men to continue to work with us, who want to be a part of that initiative, to please contact Karen Morris, Dr. Morris at Edgewater Health. And the other part about that is Bernie Carter is the leader of that program. He is the chair. He took the initiative to chair that operation, and he is MBK Lake County's champion. He is titled as the champion by the National My Brother's Keeper Association. So he is the champion for that. And recently, Hard Rock Casino donated $100,000 to kick off a lot of the activity that they have been doing, and they're indicating that they're willing to do more. In fact, when they presented the check, they had about 7 or 8 people from their team that attended the meeting, the last meeting, which was actually this week, wasn't it? This week. Yeah, and they presented the check, and they had a bunch of members of their team, and they had representatives on My Brother's Keeper stakeholder group.
And excuse me, Mr. Chair, one last point. The young man that's now over City's Youth Services, for Marcus. He's hiring 50 students for the summer. 75. Oh, okay, that's even better. 75 students for the summer, paid jobs, and some of them are actually within businesses within the community, not just with the city. So it's and yes, we'd like to see that number get higher, but you know, it's gonna take a little work.
I just had remembered what I was about to say when I said a quote from a movie, and I went on to something else and totally forgot. But I always think about the end of Boys in the Hood. And at the end of Boys in the Hood, when Doughboy goes over, Trey comes over, he's talking to Doughboy, he says, you know, I didn't see anything about my brother in the paper, you know, and then he said either they don't know, it don't show, or they just don't care about what's going on in the, and I just don't want us to be at, we don't care, okay? Because we know and it shows, and that's all.
So I'll conclude that portion out by just giving a call out to all men, because here's the deal. I am a woman, and I've known this even with my own boys. I can teach a young man what women like in men and what we prefer in men, but I cannot teach a young man how to be a man. I need a man to do that. So we're gonna give a call out to everybody. If you've got young men in your homes and you need a strong role model, please, please, please find one, because we cannot teach men how to be men as women. So with that, if you will go to my next slide real quick, a few updates that matter. Corporation matters of interest. Makeup Day. Families, be reminded that, go back, we have a Makeup Day Friday, May 22nd, 2026. Yes, there is school. Please, please, please be here. Attendance matters. Next slide, please. Our last day of school is Thursday, May 28th. Thursday, May 28th. Please be here, scholars. And then we have our 58th commencement, which is Sunday, June 7th. If you want to talk about a little bit about that for me, please. Want to make sure that people understand, because I know they've all been asking about tickets, and that's not something we give out. That's up to the high school.
Sure, throw that over to me, Dr. Stokes. Yes, on Sunday, first Sunday in June, we will be graduating the class of 2026. I believe it's at 2 o'clock. The slide says 3 o'clock, but it is at 2 o'clock. Our school board members will be processing in with us. And yes, for tickets, that is at the building level. We are not facilitating that process, so please connect with the building. And
what I do need us to do is verify the correct time, though. I don't, it is 3 o'clock, so the slide is corrected.
So then that probably means that we need to get there around 2 for line up in the graduates.
You think about your time, it is 3 o'clock for the community.
Yes, okay, 3 o'clock for the community and 2 o'clock for us to.
The board members and us.
Board members and everyone to get together. And there will be other protocols shared with parents, such as no signage and balloons and all of those things that are prohibited inside of the Mark Spencer Auditorium, Mr. Faison, those things will be conveyed to the guests. They really know the routines, we just will be there to oversee and ensure that they are enforced. Should I share any further?
Next slide.
Okay. Our summer school for those who are in credit recovery and all of the necessary things that they need to take care of will begin on June 8th. Again, that is a building level activity where those impacted students will be, their parents and guardians will be contacted regarding what they will need to do regarding summer school. Ooh, and that's a fun slide. You want to kick it off, Dr. Stokes?
I will tell you, knowledge seekers, we start May 20th. For those who have been selected, we did a thorough look at the answers that were provided, and we tried to select a cross-categorical group with great representation from across the city. And so our first session will be May 20th, and the topics for that particular section are board governance and finance. So with that being said, those who have been selected, please be reminded, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Food will be provided, which is why we limited, how many people we select, because we got food and things that we have to have. And then the second session is 4:45 to 6:45. So those are two different cohorts. So that's what I wanted to say about that.
All right. And then the last thing, this is for you, Ms. Tyndall. The yearbook update. I worked with our instructor, Mr. Evans, over at Westside Leadership Academy. And the yearbook, I'm pleased to report, was completed today, edited and uploaded for printing for the class of 2026. And so once that is done and we have our hard copies and our digital copies, I'll be back to give an update this summer.
last but not least, our draft agenda. As always, if there's anything that we know of that's pressing, we would put on our draft agenda, but typically it's kind of routine activities that you've seen us perform at the board. With that, I want to welcome our new high school principal. I'll spend some time with you.
I do want to say that she came highly recommended. When I spoke to the superintendent, and even when I was just at what was the meeting? I was just at a Chamber of Commerce, I'm sorry. I was just at a Chamber of Commerce meeting, and there were some people there from Maryville, and the guy came up to me and said, "We lost a good one. You guys were taking a good person." And I said, "What are you talking about?" And I knew what he was talking about, but I really was saying, "You're not even supposed to know yet." But in any regards, he says, "Oh, everybody knows, and we're feeling it, and we hate the fact that she's going to be leaving us, but she is well deserving, and thank you all for giving her that opportunity." So thank you for joining us. You came highly recommended. With that, I turn it back over to our board president.
Thank you, Dr. Stokes. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn, please.
So moved.
It's moved. Second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you all for coming.